Midas, someone just asked what happened to Midas. Midas is actually active right now. He's okay. I think he's like 2,500, 2,600, right around there. Not quite ASL level, but still he's playing. All right, we're on Heck 8. And we have Wayne down here in the bottom left. In the top right, we have Vindicta. I'm not sure why it says Migs. But yeah, a top NA Terran player against a very strong EU Zerg. Vindicta, excuse me. Vindicta plays a very turtley style, and Wayne plays a very off-brand Zerg style. How do I see Wayne play in every tournament yet have never seen him win? Because he's never won. That would be why. That would be why. It's kind of a funny thing to watch people say stuff like that. It's like, well, I mean, he never wins the tournament. People don't seem to understand that without that second level tier of pros and that third level tier of pros, and then those very competitive, not quite pro players and stuff like that, without all those, shit collapses and it becomes Warcraft 3 really quickly. Really fucking quickly. Like, you guys have seen Quake and Warcraft 3 tournaments, right? Where it's like there's no new players and it's just the same 16 players in the same order of every tournament.
What? Cheered. X369, it's because Artosis was a lower level pro.
Yeah, probably. Well, in the foreign scene, I guess. It's yeah. Yeah, but it's like a real thing where if you don't have these deeper level of strong players that are constantly playing and trying to get better, shit will stagnate really badly. And it just becomes like I don't actually pay attention to Warcraft 3 at all. From what I've heard, Happy wins everything right now. But like there was definitely a very long period where I was paying attention and all the tournaments were the same. And obviously for Quake 3, it was like that for fucking ever. It was like hilarious and sad as well. But yeah, that's, you don't want that. You want these players like Wayne that show up every week and do the fucking grind and all that. See, amateur Brood War scene in Korea like these days. Korea is super deep in Brood War right now. It's very healthy. Super, super deep. Lots of great players. But yeah, anyways, I guess what I'm really actually waiting to see here, guys, is what Wayne is going to pull out, because Vindicta, I think it'll probably just be some standard stuff like here. It'll probably be Hellion Banshee, right? That's like very safe. Hellion Banshee third base, maybe double eBay into mass racks, get some siege tanks probably, right? Like that type of play. Vindicta likes to play that kind of like defensive nice play. Now here is Wayne, and he's going 2-hat layer. Now there are some 2-hat layer builds. You can go quick Roach Speed, it's weird. You can go quick Nidus all in. You know, it is what it is. You can go quick 2-hatchery Mutalisk, which sounds like a Brood War build only because it is. But it was a build that popped up, and it has some interesting things about it. I don't think that's what we're gonna see, but I'll talk a lot about it if we do end up seeing it. So, makes the little wall there. Has the Roach Warren as well as the Evo. That's always how you want to wall it. You want to make the question about what you're doing. He does have the third hatch going up, but again, it's a very late third hatch. It's a very quick +1 carapace. So I don't think it's going to be Spire, but maybe it will be. I hope it. I want it to be Spire personally. Okay, so he gets the Overseer for a quick scout, or he wanted to, but that didn't work out for him, unfortunately. Does get another Overseer elsewhere. A lot of Overlords being made. This carapace upgrade is surprising for me, because he's making a lot of Overlords, which makes me think he's going to go Roach. Okay, it is just going to be a Nidus. Okay, well, like I said, it is what it is, you know. Everyone knows what this is. It's... You know, sometimes this build can work against an opener like this. I don't think that it will, but we'll see. Sometimes your Hellions are across the map and, you know, all that. And the Nidus gets up suddenly and you get in trouble. But not sure that that's what we're going to have happen here. I think Vindicta is going to be fine. But we'll see how quickly he catches. You know, his Viking already was clearing Overlords so well. Now, there is one going towards the back of his natural. The Viking lands, tries to get some damage here. I think that's it's kind of surprising that he sacks that. Moves in with those Hellions. So he's going to go Nidus. Oh, that's... Huh. Not what I was expecting there. Not at all. So I guess he's going to pressure the front and maybe try to Nidus into the main. That's most likely what we're going to see. So it's going to be +1 carapace and then also roach speed. Few Ravagers being made. Vindicta turtling up. He's just going to watch for other Niduses now. And you can see he's trying to set up a Nidus here. So kind of some cheesy play here from Wayne. A little bit of counter harassment. Does get a drone. Might get a couple more. And there is the Nidus in the main base. Okay, so he's going to be able to close this off. And now that he saw that, there's no chance for it to work. Okay, so, yeah, this is, like, the frontal push is all that's really left here, I would say. I guess that's the way to describe it. He's got to make the frontal push work. Yeah, you know, if you're kind of aware that they're trying to get Nidus in your main, you just keep glancing and you're going to be fine. Here he's trying to save that +1 armor. Kind of funny to see that it's armor up here. He does have the +1 attack elsewhere. Has this siege tank to just knock that down. He was hoping that that siege tank would be pulled, but Vindicta's too smart for that. He does have the double bunker here as well as the tank. And of course he's making more tanks throughout. And he's not even going to be able to cancel that +1 armor. Really looking good for Vindicta at the moment. Wayne is taking a fourth base. He's going to grab that second Evo, and he's getting the +2 carapace. So it's kind of funny. The thing that is weird to me here is the + carapace. It doesn't really fit with everything else, but it makes me wonder if he's planning on going into ultras. That could be what it is. Now he's getting burrow and burrow movement, which is that's not too common either. And that's, yeah, some very different stuff here from Wayne, which it always is, right? We talked about that at the beginning anyways. Single Infestor coming out, I think that's totally fine, especially considering he's getting burrow. It makes sense to get an Infestor, no reason not to. The new Infestor starts with enough for a fungal anyways. So it's always going to be useful. But, you know, this is obviously some of the weakness behind a roach opener. All right, he sees the hive start timing. Wow, Vindicta is just mangling him now. And honestly, he can just go home with all this as well. He can continue to harass. He can kind of do anything he wants. Everything is so in Vindicta's favor right now. Merry Christmas, guy in the chat. Thanks for coming by. All right, well, gonna pick this off in the center. It does have a couple tumors here, which is kind of cool. Dude, that animal is so cool. I love how big that thing is. Target it. Kill it. Kill it. Hydralisk Den now on the way. Yeah, look at that. He's got +2 carapace. He's going +1 range. So I was guessing that he might go into like an ultra play. Ultra, like, there were some cool like Ravager into ultra plays that existed a long time ago, but... And occasionally I'll see someone still try to pull those off. Here, I don't really know. The carapace is so weird to me. But whatever. You know, well, actually, let me say a little bit more about the carapace, because I know that you guys don't really care all that much about that. But you know that I love very small differences in build orders. They're fascinating to me. So once upon a time, like a very, 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 very long time ago, like when Brood War first came out, right? it became known that if you wanted to play Hydra against Zerg, because people played Hydra against Terran rather, way back, like in vanilla StarCraft, people would play Hydras against Terran. And when medics came out, that made it really hard, and people figured out that, like, oh, you basically need carapace upgrades on the Hydras to sustain in a similar way to what the medics are doing. So the thought process was rush to +2 carapace as quickly as you could for Hydralisks, and you could still kind of fight against Marine Medic. Obviously, that doesn't hold up to today, where we know how to macro and pressure, but that was the thought process, right? So, like, if you're going to be playing Roach, like, it's not, maybe he's thinking to himself, you know, it's about keeping the sustain up for a bit longer here because you're fighting against those medevacs that add sustain. Just an interesting idea I have. Anyways, I wonder why he did it, but that's my idea that comes to mind. Now, he does set up, like, I mean, he's got his fourth. Like, Wayne's done a good job here, considering how much damage Vindicta piled on him. He's getting into lurkers, right? He's getting 3 carapace, seismic spines, or whatever the hell it's called, you know? Multiple siege tanks coming out for Vindicta, who's on 4 base now. He's really setting up a very turtled spot. Decent amount of infestors out here. You know, he has those Vipers. We saw those before as well. There they are. The burrow movement, I don't think we've actually seen used, have we? But, I mean, I don't mind seeing it upgraded if you're going to get burrow anyways. May as well get burrow movement if you have some roaches around. They might be useful at some point. You never know. Yeah, I tell you, like, this, you know, I feel like Vindicta maybe could have made like a 3-base timing attack after he held the initial push, and he didn't, and that's okay, because this is his style regardless. Damn, look at that efficiency. This is his style, right, to play the more turtled, longer macro game. But if you want to be like real championship level, and this is definitely something that I struggle with personally in my own games, you have to know how to finish someone when you get an advantage. Because while you can stay ahead as you move into the later game, you can see that the way in which Vindicta's ahead doesn't count for nearly as much now as it did earlier, right? So you've given up quite a bit of your advantage. Yeah. So it's something to think about. That might be something Vindicta wants to fix if he wants to continue to move up the ranks in StarCraft 2. So right now we have those melee upgrades. Adrenal on the way. 3/3 coming for Vindicta. Lots of Marauders being added in as well. Nice little push here from Wayne. Got some serious damage on it. Damn, man. Looks like he might actually hit this nuke. Oh, that's going to be a really reasonable nuke. Of course, it doesn't even kill the eggs. Oh, that's not right. That's not the move. That looks like what would happen in Brood War, man. And look at this. The other tank is just out of range, too. That's brutal. LOL. Are you going to unload? Ah, what am I looking at? This is craziness right now. Honestly, Wayne has taken so much of the map. He's done a good job recovering here. Look at this. He popped a single queen out to kill the tank. It worked. That's so funny. Well, it doesn't get the creep down, but whatever. It's like kind of silly shit. Now he has this ghost up here. He did make him put his gun away. I like that functionality. That'd be cool if you could do that with StarCraft 1 ghosts. Of course, we got to make sure that's like the worst unit ever, though. All right, now Vindicta going to start hitting this base, but once again, his own 4th base here, well, I think it's technically his 3rd, gets forced up. Vindicta gonna get some damage across the map, but there is a 6th base being taken, so that's, I guess, his new 5th at this point. Good kill on this one. Lots of ghosts coming out. Liberator, Siege Tank. Like to see it. Some good biles, though. Punishing what he can. This drop in the main base, doing pretty well. I like the double medevac pick. That's good. And looks like that'll be cleared. I love the ghost just sitting there cloaked. Another Nidus going up. Dude, that's becoming annoying for real. Yeah, definitely got to keep those zoned out of there. Don't want to be dealing with those Niduses anymore. And, you know, some of this is done well, but you are going to have to think about pushing. Now, there's more Vipers on the way, so I think he's expecting that anyways, between Blinding Cloud and just Abducts in general. It's going to be a little bit hard for Vindicta to actually push across this map properly. Going to have to be very on top of it with his Ghost usage. Well, this engage doesn't go the way that Wayne thought it was going to. That's for sure. Gonna be able to kill that off and take this base. Kills another one. All right, a lot more lurkers coming out. You know, you can play this really grindy as Wayne. Ooh, that nuke, man. Dude. Oh, okay. I'm like, that would be one of those nukes that you see Solar get hit by. Canceled it off at the last second to stim forward. I think that's actually the right way to do it, is to cancel very last second while stimming forward. It's quicker than letting it go off. Ooh, very good fungal goes down. Hydra's trading reasonably well there under the fungal. All right, saves his tank with that scan as well. Dude, that thing has to be what the Ultralisk was made out of. Look at that thing. It looks like an Ultra. I don't care about StarCraft lore, but I suddenly want to know. Now, Vindicta continuing to move forward here. Wayne is bringing back a lot of units he had towards top left. He is taking a bunch of hatches top left, by the way, as well. Vindicta backing way up into his Liberators and Siege Tanks. Well, Vindicta might be attacking a little bit too quickly here. Like, I feel like it's better to entrench, get your rallies up, and then continue to push, but he's like kind of doing it all at once. Fusion Core just now going up, as well as another Starport. Definitely wants to get more heavily into those, get some Liberator range as well, considering how many Liberators he's been making. Definitely going to be worthwhile. A lot of Hydra Lurker up on this high ground. Vindicta's done a very good job of pushing through that right side of the map. Taking those additional bases is huge. So he has like 2 full mining bases and then 2 half mining bases right now. By the way, I like the interspersed gold patches there. It's very cool. Ooh, nice. Good snipe. I like that setup of the turrets as well. So, Liberator range on the way. A ton of lurkers being made. Kind of funny, Wayne's on 68 workers during this. Okay, he is making some more now. I think he was just making buildings out of them. I hadn't been looking at the workers too often, but that's like actually pretty low for late game Zerg. I think Dark's got it right. Play as close to 100 as you can and then let it go down. Get that bank built. All right, little stim in here from Vindicta. Going after this 1/3 gold base or 1/2 gold base, whatever we're calling it. Kills that hatch off in a matter of seconds. Just boosting out. Another nuke going off here. Pretty solid nuke location. He's going to get that geyser. Those changelings are dust, too. Oh! What? I don't know what that was. Just walks right into it. Well, Vindicta right now is really dealing damage all over the place. Some really fancy micro coming out. Probably not worth his time for that. He's killed quite a few drones during this as well. And, I mean, he's not really taking that much damage across the map, to be honest. I'm not sure, actually, what's at the bottom right there that's blue. But we have a... Maybe that's Overlords or something and a geyser that's been taken? Maybe it's drones that got pulled off that base. Not sure. But Wayne right now getting pushed in over here once again. And GG is called. And that's going to be the series for Vindicta. Very nice game. Very nice game there. That was an interesting one. Wayne really came back, and then Vindicta just laid it on him.